COVID-19 actually is a common crisis, maybe less than the helium flash, but more or less the same. So in terms of dealing the pandemic, Einar, how would you reflect the global effort on that?
I give about a D minus.
D minus?
Yes. I mean, China was castigated for doing probably what, in 6 months from now, you're going to be able to look at excess deaths over a 3.5-year period. And you're going to be look at the economies, and you're going to see something very simple. China did very well. Another existential threat for countries that didn't do well, whose leadership was basically out to lunch, more interested in populism than actually the welfare of their constituents. So right now we have this situation where hundreds of billion, over $100 billion was found to prosecute a war, a conflict in Ukraine. Yet 50 billion was out of reach. That would have been a game changer if you had inoculated everybody at the very beginning. Trillions of dollars in lost economic activity would have been saved. Millions of lives would have been saved. Yet, I don't agree that we're rational. I'm sorry. I don't. I mean, it is irrational. We had the rational option. And what happened? You saw people playing politics. Now, I just wanted to add a couple of things. One, shared values does not mean, all right, as far as I understand, homogenized values. China is not trying to get the rest of the world to adopt Confucianism. And I think that has to be made very clear. What they're saying is that we have basic values, human values, that we should share and cherish. And we should work on that basis. In terms of conflict, there's always going to be conflict. The last 5,000 years of recorded history have shown us that human beings haven't changed. The enemy is the person we see in the mirror. It's our better natures versus our worse natures. When you talk about greed, I automatically thought of Exxon. In the 1970s, they knew global warming was there. They had confirmed it. All their scientists were saying it. Well, not all. I'm sure there's one who's willing to say no. But they buried the reports and went forward. Why? Because it was good for them. One of the elephants in the room we haven't discussed is population. Population is expected to increase by 50%, over 12 billion before, quote, it tapers off, quote, naturally. I don't understand how that's going to happen naturally. I mean, right now, we are having tremendous problems with everything that has been things. And what is the root cause? Overpressure due to population explosion. Why do I talk about it in terms of greed? Because of the classical idea economically that rising populations lead to bigger business, more profits, right? But it's killing us and our inability to do that. I'm not saying that we will act rationally, but I'm saying that shared values to me is about our better nature trying to put our worse nature in check.